question for you guys. Alright, so what do you think determines your success? The reason why I ask that is because today's sort of topic that we're going over is called Locus of Control. And there's two options. You either have an internal or an external locus of control. I was actually, just to give some background, just earlier today I was watching this YouTube video of this motivational speaker, E.T. the hip hop preacher. If you've never heard of him, I would highly suggest going and looking him up on YouTube. But the first thing in this video, he said, your circumstances are not what determines your success. And one thing about this guy is that he dropped out of high school. He was a child to a single mother. He lived in poverty. And now he's a millionaire and one of the best motivational speakers. The thing that he seemed to have that sort of determine how he was going to succeed, he had this mindset, this internal locus of control. The way that his mind worked, if I do this, if I go and run the extra mile, if I learn, if I try hard enough, that determines my success. That determines the rewards that I achieve in life. I like to think that I also hold this mindset. I know going into this whole thing with online school, I was just thinking, I was like, okay, if I make my schedule, if I do this to-do list, if I read all my material, I can walk out of every class with an A. And sort of that's what someone with an internal locus of control, that's what their mindset would be like. An external locus of control, on the other hand, I've talked to quite a few people, both to do with college, to do with my business, because I'm also a business owner. And there's a lot of people right now that they're thinking, how am I going to get a job? How am I going to make money? How am I going to support myself? The circumstances just aren't in my favor and I just can't win. And that is what, in terms of organizational behavior, we would call an external locus of control. You're looking at all of your circumstances and you're saying, well, even if I put in a lot of work, that the success I get and what I will achieve has nothing to do with that. It has to do with whether or not the company that I applied to is going to be hiring right now, whether or not the weather is nice. That'll determine if I can get fit or not. Whether or not my professors post everything on time, or whether or not they grade everything within 2 days will determine how good of a grade I can get. That's more the idea of an external locus of control, where you're saying, well, even if I try hard enough, that doesn't mean I'm going to get the reward from it. Whereas internal, you would be saying, okay, if I try really hard, I know this is the reward I'm going to achieve. And that's really all I had to say about internal and external locus of control. I highly encourage you guys to comment down below on which one you think you have, which one you would like to have, and maybe just a little bit of a comment on someone you know that has the opposite and how you've seen that in their behavior. See ya!